As Ahed Tamimi spends her 17th birthday inside Ofar military prison just outside Ramallah, people around the world are mobilizing for days of action to free Ahed and all Palestinian political prisoners. In Johannesburg, at the Women's Jail on Constitutional Hill, pictures of Ahed Tamimi by Israeli photographer Haim Schwanzenberg depict the teen's life in her village Nabisale near Ramallah on the West Bank. Ahed's family are leaders in the popular resistance movement in the tiny village of 600 people.
You see her through all of this, either triumphant and strong, but also heartbroken at every turn, because this is the reality that she faced. She saw her mum being taken away from her dad for long periods, and there was always this uncertainty. And she doesn't fear for her life. Many other children, you see them cower, you see them running back into the house when they're hearing these explosions, but Ahed runs towards the danger.
The exhibition is a collection of photographs by Schwarzenberg, except one drawing by Ahed when she was 15.
She draws the beautiful houses there and all the free space and the trees, the green trees, versus the olive tree that is burnt out in the village. At the end of the day, she's still really hopeful. And if you look, she still says Palestine will be free because she totally believes in it. And when she was in South Africa, she repeatedly said that we are the generation that is going to lead that.
Ahed's case has highlighted the imprisonment of Palestinian children. Approximately 700 are brought before military courts each year. Amnesty International confirms that children are routinely subjected to prolonged interrogation with no access to lawyers or while in solitary confinement.
Systematically, the Israeli military court system violates all due process rights, all rights to legal counsel, and the right to a fair trial, but also the rights of the child.
Every child all over the world, wherever they come from, has rights, and these rights are enshrined in the United Nations Convention for Children's Rights. And many countries, or most countries in the world, are signatories to these rights.
Ahed's pre-dawn arrest on 19 December has raised several concerns.
Israel is one of the only few countries in the world that allows for the administrative detention of children, which basically means that there are no due process rights, there are no civil liberties, there are no human rights protection at all for the children that are being detained by Israel.
Her crime, essentially, is that she was born Palestinian. If she was Israeli, she would not be trialed in the way that she's being trialed. She would be trialed as a minor. She would not be facing the kind of sentence that she's facing. So if we really want to make comparisons, we can make them in the most detailed ways. But I think history is littered with examples of young people who have taken up a just struggle. And there's a poem by Palestinian Mahmoud Darwish which says that my freedom is in being what they did not want me to be. And Ahed has showed us that. But Deputy Chief Justice, the former Deputy Chief Justice Dikgang Moseneke, showed us that at age 15 when he was imprisoned in South Africa on Robben Island.
SAJFP supports Ahed, and we support Palestinian political prisoners and children prisoners generally. We as a group in South Africa, we met with Ahed. I've met her here and in Palestine, and as an individual she really inspires me and I think a lot of us.
The I Am Ahed exhibition at Constitutional Hill will run through to Human Rights Day in March and will honor all child prisoners. Ahed's next military court appearance will take place in a week's time on February the 6th, where she could face up to 14 years in prison. Hasina Katrada, SABC News, Constitutional Hill, Johannesburg.